Greetings everyone. Hope you're doing good. Today I am working on getting some of my plants in the house and watering and the general maintenance. And I had transferred quite a few of my succulents and cactuses to Leca at the beginning of the summer. And I thought, hey, this would be a good time for you guys and me as well to kind of check up on them and see how they're doing. Also to give you some tips on how to grow in Leca. So that's what this video is kind of going to be about. So I hope you enjoy it and welcome. So let's get started. The first cactus that I had gotten to and transferred to Leca as an experiment is my little Howdy Doody cactus. And so far, so good. I transferred him probably in April or May, somewhere around there. And he's getting all sorts of new little spikes, and the spikes that he had are growing. Now he needs a little water today because he is bone dry. But since he's a cactus, I kind of let them dry out really well before I give them a nice watering. And when I do water, I'm going to first I'll just give him a nice flush to make sure all the Leca gets a good dousing. And then when I fill up his reservoir, I'm only going to fill it up to where it just touches that first little hole right there. And then I'm going to let it go completely dry, leave it dry for maybe, I don't know, a week, and then flush it and give him just a little bit more of water. With cactuses, you got to remember they live in the desert, so they don't like a lot of water, but that doesn't mean they don't like water. Now with my cactuses in the house that I have growing in soil, I only water them twice a year. And when I do water them, I give them a good water from the top and until it drains out the bottom, and then I don't water them again for about 6 months. So like I said, they get a watering in the spring and then in the winter, somewhere around December is when I'll give them another good watering. My second plant that I had transferred to Leca was the Aloe Vera, and she's doing really well. I know that she has some brown on her, but that was there before I potted her. But she's growing some new leaves on me, and she doesn't feel mushy at all. Again, I do the same thing with her. I leave that water up to about that first little thing, and then I let it completely dry out, give her a good flush, and then fill it up, like I said, with water to about there. But I do let her dry out for about a week before I water her again. The second cactus that I have is, I'm not even sure what this one's called, but he has been in Leca for a while. And I haven't seen any new growth, but he's not dead. So that tells me, okay, he might like it. Again, let it dry out, fill it up with just a little bit of water, and you're good to go. Now the other one that I had transferred was my little wandering dude. And I can't keep these things alive for the life of me. I don't know what I ever do wrong when they were in soil. But this little guy is doing awesome in the Leca. Now see here, he's got some roots coming out of the bottom. I don't worry about those because those are seeking the water, I guess. And I'll just leave a little bit of water again in the bottom of the pot at all times because wandering Jews like moisture. So I don't let this one dry out in between waterings. I just keep a little bit of water in there. Now I do want to comment on these roots coming out. What you can do if you see these roots coming out is go ahead and check your plant roots, and maybe it's too big for the pot and it needs to go into a bigger pot. That way you can repot him, and these roots aren't going to be sitting in water all the time. But I just think they like sitting in water, and he's doing good, so I'm not going to repot him because I don't see any other roots growing in my Leca. I mean, if he needed a repot, they would be growing out here. So I'm just going to leave him in my catch pot and just make sure that there's a little bit of water in there at all times. And that's kind of, a lot of people have asked the differences between that. What do I do when my plants have roots that are coming out the bottom? Those are your two choices. You can repot it into a bigger pot so that those roots aren't sitting in water, or you can do what I do. Whatever works for you and whatever makes your plant happy, that's what I say. Now the other one that I wanted to show you that I had repotted is my rabbit nest fern. And believe it or not, she took to it really well. Um, Again, I don't ever let her dry out. I keep some water to about there at all times. And when I do water her, I water her from the top so that that leca gets some moisture into it. I don't just water it from the bottom. I don't butt chug. I water them from the top, and then, like I said, I only water till the water is up to that very first hole. The other plant that I wanted to show you was my little begonia. She was a experiment with me, and she's been doing really well. I have found that my house begonias have done awesome in Leca, so I thought, hey, you know what, I'll try this one, and I'll bring her in. Now, if you notice, I don't know if you can see that, but she has got some root action there, and there are some roots that are coming out the bottom. Now with her, when I bring her in, I will probably go ahead and give her a repot. I'm going to put her in a bigger pot. I might take some starts off these because they're looking a little scraggly, but all in all, I'm pleased with her progress. Now the other thing that I wanted to show you was my green bean begonia, or excuse me, Pepperoma. Now this one was struggling all winter, well really ever since I got it. And I put it outside with a little bit more sun, and it seemed to like it. But I had gotten to a conversation with a woman who had the same plant, and she wanted to know how to start one of these. So I did. I started one, and I threw it in a vase with Leca. I keep that water to about right there where that ridge is. I let it dry out before I water it again. But as you can see there, she's doing beautiful. She does have, I mean, you can take starts off this thing. What I did was just try to find a notch and cut it and put it in there. She's went from my least favorite plant to now one of my favorite plants. So there you have it. Now, with fertilizer, I have been asked a lot, what do I use for fertilizer? How do I fertilize? Oh, I wanted to show you one more plant. I just love these two. These are also succulents that I had transplanted at the beginning of the summer. And this one has just been doing awesome. I made my own pot by using a hot glue gun and poking holes all the way around a nursery pot that I had found. So, doing awesome. And that just goes to show you, I posted another video on this as well, but I wanted to reiterate, you don't have to buy your Leca pots. You can make them yourself with a hot glue gun or a hot screwdriver to poke holes all around these cheap plastic pots that you get from the nursery and throw away anyways. That way, with the money that you can save on buying catch pots, you can use to buy really cute little inserts. But anyways, I just wanted to show you her. She has taken to the Leca really well, and she's got a bunch of roots coming out the bottom. Now with her, I don't think I'm going to repot her yet. I might just wait a couple more months and let her go. But again, I let her dry out a couple days, give her a nice flush, and then put the water in the reservoir up to one of those holes. So, you know, I don't keep a lot of water. I don't water them a lot, but I do water them. And then the other one I wanted to show you was this one. I can't remember, I think this is a pancake succulent maybe, but she has taken to the Leca really well. I see a lot of roots in that pot, if you can see on my hole, and I see a lot of new growth on her. She's crazy. She's crazy. She's crazy happy in the Leca. So there you have it. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was fertilizer. Yes, I fertilize. I fertilize every time I water. And the reason why I do that is because they're in Leca and they don't get the nutrients that they would from the soil. So you do have to fertilize. Some people do it once every other month. Some people do it every couple months. I do it about once a month. And then the rest of the time I use just regular water. I flush and shower them, which I explained in another video. I flush and shower them every other month, but I do fertilize every month. And now with my house plants and soil, they are right now getting the last watering with fertilizer for the winter. They're going to bed, but with the ones in Leca, I still fertilize all through winter. And what do I use for fertilizer? I've used quite a few. I'm not dedicated to any one brand. When I first started the journey, I used the Dynagrow. I really like that because it was made for hydroponic plants, so you don't have to worry about diluting it before you add it to your Leca. But right now, through a friend of mine, through her suggestion, I use the Eleanor VF11. And so far, I have to tell her, kudos, girl, because that's the shit fire right there. VF1. This is made specifically for hydroponic plants. But what's great about this product is, when they tell you when you first transfer your plant from soil to Leca that you shouldn't add any nutrients, just Super Thrive maybe. I usually just use plain old water, or I used to, until I got this stuff, because this stuff will not burn my roots. I don't have to dilute it, and it not only is a good plant maintenance, such as using it for my monthly nutrients, but it's also a good rooter. So when I'm trying to grow roots, this one is really good. So with this, the VH1, I like it because I don't have to remember, oh, did I just transition that plant? Does it need nutrients? You just pour it in. They all love it. So thank you, Lexi, for turning me on to this. It's rather pricey, but I'm telling you, this lasts me forever, and it's an awesome product. So there you have it. That's all I had for you today. I just wanted to give you an update on some of the cactuses and succulents that I had transferred from soil to Leca and how they were doing. Awesome. And also to talk a little bit about fertilizer and what to do with your roots once they get, down like this crazy wandering dude right there. I hope this helps. And if I can clarify anything, please reach out. I'm here to help. And other than that, have a great day. Happy growing, and get out and enjoy this great weather. If you have any plants that need to be transitioned from soil to Leca, now's the time to do it, because you're not going to be able to use your outside hose much longer. Okay, tips of wisdom from an old hag. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the other side. Oh wait, not the other side. What the hell? You know what I mean. See you later.